Happy if I start?
Ready?
Ready.
Liam, thank you for joining us. After a tough trip to Barrow last weekend, we've got a chance to bounce back with 3 points against Harrogate. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that one?
Yeah, one to look forward to, being back at home. We've got quite a good home record so far this season. We seem to do really well at home. So yeah, an opportunity to get 3 points and one we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, our home record has been very impressive. We've always spoke to the gaffer about, how when he came here as manager, he said it was a very hard place to come. I'm sure you felt that as a player as well. What is it, do you think, about a home record that, well, not necessarily the home record, what is it about playing here that makes it so hard to sort of pick up results?
I think the fans play a big part, especially when we're doing well. They really get behind us and obviously make it hard for opposition. And obviously playing at home is always an advantage. We sort of know the ground, and the way we play helps us. The pitch is good. So I just think it's a really good place to play, especially with the way we're playing.
Yeah, and I suppose after Saturday's result, it's just a case of sort of picking ourselves up. I'm sure the gaffer's had lots of meetings with you already and sort of assessed it. It's a long journey home. It's a difficult pitch to play on, obviously. Is there sort of any feelings, having had a few days to reflect on it?
Yeah, like you said, we watched it back on Tuesday now. Spoke about things that we need to improve on. But again, I think going away to Barrow is probably one of the most difficult places in the league. So yeah, I don't think many teams will come out there with much. But again, like you said, watching it back, we are disappointed with how we played really. But again, another opportunity to bounce back on Saturday.
Yeah, and Barrow were obviously having a great season so far, and they've continued their good record. And I suppose Saturday's game is just a chance to bounce back. We've been really impressive at home, and I'm sure the lads are just eager to get out there and sort of not necessarily put things right, because we've had some good performances of late, haven't we?
Yeah, like you said, another opportunity. I think the lads are just raring to go now. It's never nice when you lose. We sort of won the week before Aki and thought we could go on a little bit of a run, but happens in football, you lose games. So again, it's just another chance to bounce back and get 3 points.
And how have you been feeling, physically, because you've played every game in the league so far, and I'm pretty sure you've almost played every cup game as well, so it must be pretty demanding and pretty sort of physical challenge.
No, I've enjoyed it. You know what I mean, everyone loves playing games, so as many as I can play, I just want to play in every game. So yeah, long may it continue, touch wood, no injuries, and I've been lucky, to be fair, throughout my career. I've never really had muscle injuries or anything, so yeah, I'm just raring to go in every game.
Thank you, Liam.
Yeah. Well, Liam, talking about your style of play and that, Scott said recently after the Accrington Stanley game that you are probably one of the best defenders in the club. There was a great moment in that Accrington game where you did a tackle right in front of the crowd, right at the back, and everybody went cheered, and you looked like you sort of celebrated it. Is defending a big part of your game, and do you enjoy that part?
Yeah, I guess it has to be playing in the middle of the pitch. I think it's probably one of the positions where you got to have a little bit of everything. So yeah, if I can help out, I help out. I probably defend in a different way to how the back four defend in a way. I've got to try and read the game and break up play, so I do it in my own way, but yeah, it's nice for the gaffer to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And regarding sort of, because we've had a few injuries this year with Dion, Ben, Kellen, etc., and I think you missed a game with your head injury and that. How impressed have you been with the way the players who have come in, the sort of more squad players come in and sort of fitted in perfectly?
Yeah, credit to the gaffer and his coaching staff really, with the way we're... I guess it starts with pre-season, the way we've set up in terms of how he wanted us to play. I think everyone's taken on board the position that they play in and the role, what it takes to play in the role. So yeah, credit to the gaffer for that, and obviously credit to the boys that maybe don't play as much and now when they get the chance take it. I guess Lolas is a prime example. Start of the season he was coming on or getting a game here and there, but now he's come into the team probably the last 5-6 games and been one of our best players, and everyone can see now his quality, and yeah, so long may that continue.
Yeah, and looking at the league table, you're 5 points off the playoffs, but on the flip side there's 5 points between you and 20th place. I mean, that shows how tight this league is, and obviously you played in it last season. Is it a better standard this year, do you think, or just better teams in the league?
Yeah, I guess we're only 16 games in, so it's always going to be this tight. But yeah, it's a strong league. from top to bottom. There's no easy game in this league, but I think that's every year, you know. So I can't compare it to last year, but yeah, it's a strong league.
Yeah, and I've spoken to Scott and a couple of other players about targets and ambitions this year. They've said you've got your targets and ambitions, but they haven't sort of said publicly what they are. They're keeping it within the group. Do you think, even though we don't know what they are, you obviously do you think you're still on target to achieve those ambitions and targets this season?
Yeah, I guess we just take it game by game, really. That's all you can do in football. There's no point in looking too far ahead. That's once you get ahead of yourself, that's when things start to turn in a bad way. So yeah, we just take it game by game. We're confident going into every game that we can win. So that's the main objective, going into every game, and that starts on Saturday.
Yeah, and obviously January's coming around very quickly. January transfer window is open. Is there anything that you think that the squad needs in that January window, or do you think the squad is pretty good where we are?
No, for me, I'd be happy with that, but obviously that's down to the gaffer and the coaching staff to analyse what we might need, or that's just down to them, and us as players have just got to play and train very well, and I guess we'll see when it comes to January.
Yeah, thanks, Liam.
No worries.